Raised by wolves with canine DNA in his blood, having trained more than 24,000 pets, helping you and your fur babies thrive. Live in studio, it's Pet Talk Today with Will Bangura, answering your pet behavior and training questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host and favorite pet behavior expert, Will Bangura.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Pet Talk Today 5-minute quick tip. I'm your host, Will Bangura, bringing you the best tips and strategies to deal with some of the most challenging issues in dog behavior. Today, we've got a topic that is relevant to both seasoned trainers and first-time pet owners, and that's resource guarding in dogs. So what exactly is resource guarding? Well, it's a behavior where your furry friend, they might growl, they might snap, they might even bark and show their teeth if you come near them while they're enjoying their food or a new toy. While guarding is a natural behavior in many animals, in a home environment, it can be problematic and even dangerous. That's why today we're going to delve into evidence-based techniques, specifically counter conditioning, to help you manage and potentially eliminate resource guardings. Now, let's identify some of the signs first. If your dog is resource guarding, you might notice that they growl when you walk past them when they're eating, or they tense up and they gobble up their food really, really quick. Another telltale sign is if they suddenly stop and stare at you when you're near their favorite toy or another prized possession. These are all cues that something is very, very amiss. Now, all right, so we've identified the problem, but how do we fix it? Well, the key lies in counter conditioning. In plain language, we're talking about changing your dog's underlying emotional response and state to something. For instance, instead of growling when you approach them with their toy, they wag their tail happily and they expect a treat. And for those more scientifically inclined, counter conditioning is deeply rooted in classical conditioning. It's been proven effective in modifying emotionally driven behaviors for decades. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how to do this step by step. Now, folks, this is a process, so patience is key. Now, we need to start in a controlled environment. Let's say your living room. That might be a great place to start. You want to limit the distractions. You don't want any other pets, no loud noises. You want just you and your dog. Now, let's identify the guarded resource. What's the object of affection? Is it a food bowl, a squeaky toy? Know what you're working with before you start the training. Now, we need to talk quick about distance and threshold. Stand at a distance where your dog is not showing any signs of stress and your dog's not guarding at all. This is called the threshold distance, and it's where you're going to start your training. Don't start any closer. Now, we've got this. Great. You've got your environment set, you've picked your object, and you know your starting distance. Now for the fun part. Slowly approach that distance, approach your dog, and toss them a high-value treat. Think chicken or a piece of cheese or hot dog, something they love but they don't get often. Toss the treat, then calmly walk away. The idea is to make your approach something the dog looks forward to. Now, we are going to decrease our distance gradually over time, and we're talking days or even weeks here. You can start to move closer, always watching your dog's reaction, of course, making sure they're not stressed, making sure they're not guarding. Now, after a while, we're going to add a little more challenges to that. Once you can stand next to your dog without any signs of guarding or stress, well, then it's time to up the ante. Perhaps you invite a friend or a different family member to be the one who walks up during training, or you can try this in a new location. Now, remember, consistency is key. Short, regular training sessions are much more effective than long, sporadic ones. You want to aim for 5 to 10 minutes a day to start with, okay? All right, folks, that's a wrap for today's episode of Pet Talk Today, 5-minute quick tip, counter conditioning. It's not a quick fix. It's a journey. Hopefully, you just practice. You'll make this work. Thanks for your attention, everybody. I'm out of here.